Hello everyone, I'm Sarah Chatello from Sassy Paper Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I want to show you the Sentimental Rose Card Kit. Now, if you're a part of my VIP group, you saw me unbox this kit at my Stampin' to Summer party, and I also have a video up for beginners where I recommend getting this kit. So I just made this card. It took me all of 5 minutes to make this cute card, and I'm going to use this for a bridal shower. But I want to go through this card and the two other ones you can make, plus the box, to show you how easy it is. So I'm going to open up my box here, and I've already opened everything. If you'd like to see that, you can join my VIP group and see the video I did there where I unboxed this kit. And these are the 3 projects you can make. This is the Sentimental Rose Card Kit. I made this one. So I'm going to go through how to do these 2 plus this one too. And these were super quick. So these are great for if you need a card on the go. And it comes with a stamp set, dimensionals, glue dots. And I'm only going to be using everything that comes in this kit. These are the envelopes that come with it. So the only other thing you might need besides what's in this box is a pair of scissors. Which who doesn't have a pair of scissors? So I get all the elements of the things I need out, and we'll get started. And I just store everything in the box it comes with. I do the same thing with paper pumpkins, and then I just keep them on a shelf, and that way everything's nice and neat and right where you need it to be. It also comes with the clear black, which has cat hair on it. It's fine, I have cat hair all over my house, but we'll use the black that comes in there today. So let's go ahead and make this card again really quick. And it comes with the gray granite ink spot, which I have the full size pad of, and I haven't opened this one yet. So I'm going to do that right now and try not to cut my finger. You just want to peel up the label a little bit, and I just kind of tear it off. And then, whoops, it opens and you put your finger in it, which is fine. And then you can rip off the other end so it's easy open. So that is open now, so we can use that. And the first thing we're going to do is get the rose stamp, put it on our block. And so there are instructions that come with the kit. And they look like this. There's no words on them, but it shows you step by step how to put it together. So we're going to start with this one. And it says we need the rose, the leaf, and the sentiment stamp. I did congratulations. This comes with several stamps. I think we're going to do thinking of you. And so this recommends you can use the same block, and I'll show you how to do that. And then on the next card, I'm going to get out some blocks that I have here. So we also need this piece and a card base, which I have here. What's this card base? And then one of these corrugated labels. So the first thing I like to do is when I'm making the card, I like to look at the instructions and see all the elements and get them all out and ready to go. And then I set the rest of everything aside so that way I'm not putting things on that don't go there. You can totally do that though. These kits, you could switch them up. You could use one of these roses instead of stamping on this card. You do it however you like the look of it. Nobody knows what it's supposed to look like. So let's stamp our rose first. And the only thing that this kit doesn't come with that you will need is a way to clean your stamps. I have a Stampin' Scrub and Stampin' Mist. Some people really like the chamois, which they keep in our clear stamp cases. Some people use a baby wipe. I don't recommend that just because there are chemicals and things on the baby wipe. So all I did here was I just inked up my stamp, and I'm going to go straight down, press, and straight up, and get your image. And here is my Stampin' Scrub. One side is the wet side, one is the dry. You just use a little Stampin' Mist, squirt, rub your stamp there, rub it there, all clean. So then we're going to take that stamp off. And I like to put it right back where I got it from. And we'll put on our congratulations, and we'll do our label. So you also want to have something to protect your work surface, whether that's a piece of copy paper. I have grid paper here that Stampin' Up sells. Just something so you're not getting ink and things all over your table. And when I'm pressing on the Stampin' spot here, I'm not pressing very hard. I'm just tapping just enough to get the ink on. Now we're just going to line that up, and the great thing about these stamps is they are see-through. And just push straight down, straight up. The thinking is a little bit wonky, but I think it looks okay. I like it. So then I'm going to get my scrub again. And now with the chamois, I notice what some people do is it's wet, so they'll use the chamois and then use like a paper towel to dry their stamp. That's fine too. Like I said, you just don't want to use something with a lot of chemicals. I just wouldn't want you to degrade your stamp. And then we're just going to do the leaves. And now what I did on my card is a real simple technique called stamping off. So I'm inking up my stamp. And then what we're going to do is on your scrap paper, your grid paper, stamp off and then stamp onto your card. And see how it gives it's a different shade of the gray. It's just subtle. So with one ink pad, you can actually get several different colors or shades of the same color. So we're going to do that one more time. Inking up the stamp, stamp off, and then straight down and straight up. And when you're stamping, you don't want to rock it. You don't want to do anything like that. Just straight down, straight up. That way you get the best image. So that is all of the stamping done. I'm going to clean off my stamp. This card really is super quick. I couldn't believe how fast I had it done. I was like, oh, wow. Set that aside. And now we just have to put everything together. So here's our card base, and you can just fold it like that. I like to use a bone folder just to make sure I get a nice crisp edge. And our card's going to go this way. So then I'm going to take the glue dots from the kit. Well, first we'll do dimensionals. Let's do the dimensionals first. So I'm just taking two and putting them on the back of our sentiment here. And then I'm going to put that onto this corrugated cardstock piece here. Let's kind of center it. And then we'll flip that over. And I just like taking the tip of the scissors and getting some glue dots. And you could use liquid glue. You could use a tape runner, which is what I did on the first card. I'm just trying to show that you really don't need anything else other than what is in this kit. And these, I really do love these glue dots, but sometimes they give me a hard time like that one, so we're just going to throw that one away and start again. And they give you more than enough to complete all the projects. I always have, even after I'm done with all the cards, I always have extras of the glue dots and the dimensionals, which is nice because then you can make more things. So you just have to take the backing off of these. And for the next cards, just so you know, so I don't have to fiddle with this, I am going to use my tape runner. So it's not difficult. Just that part is the only part that's a little bit time consuming. So then we're just going to set that on our panel there. And then use a couple of the enamel dots that come with the kit. So I used a big one here. These are really on there. There. And I kind of put it behind the sentiment a little bit. You could also use your fingernail for this. And I'll just kind of randomly place it. See what happens if I use my nail. That worked a little better. And one down there. So then you could take your glue dots again. Or you could, you know what, let's use dimensionals on this. I want to give this a little bit of height. We'll take the dimensionals. And pop that up. And the glue dots, when you put those on anything, it makes what you adhere to stay flat. So see the cardboard, the corrugated piece, it's flat. Then the sentiment is on dimensionals. And now this panel is on dimensionals, and we can stick that to our card. And it doesn't tell you to in the kit, but what I did was I took the leaves and I stamped on the inside of my card because I like to decorate the inside of my card. So let's do that. Oops, and flip over our spot. And put one down there. And one down there. And that is card 1 done. Easy peasy. And it has a matching envelope that you don't have to do anything to. So I'm going to clean off my stamp, and then we will move on to our second card. Let's go back up to the top. So the second card here is this thank you card, and it says we need the rose and the leaf. So I'll leave that on there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take it off, and we're going to put our rose on, and I'm going to get another block. This is a B block. And we need this panel here and a label. This label, but that's macaroon or macaron, however you say that, around there. And then the corrugated banner. So see, there's one, the straight piece is what we just used. This one uses the banner. So those are all our pieces for that card. And let's do our stamping. Oh, and we also need the ribbon and stuff, but that's over here. So we'll do that here in a minute. First, I'm going to ink up my rose. And just like I said, tap, tap, tap. You don't want to push too hard and completely saturate the stamp, but you don't want to push too light and not get enough ink. So I'm just tapping, making sure to get it all covered. And then we're going to stamp it about there over the pink. And then our leaves. Looks like they did 2. And there's one up here. And you could stamp off again like we did on the other card. I kind of like how that looks. So we're going to keep them full strength of color. Oops, and I keep flipping that thing over. And then one here. And then we're going to get our thank you. I'm going to use another block. This is a C block. And we will stamp our sentiment onto our label. Okay, and then it looks like I need the ribbon that comes from this and the card base, which is this one. And what they did was they took a piece of the ribbon and they wrapped it around the card base. I'm going to put the lid on this before I get something inky that I don't want to be inky. And just tied a bow at the top. So this is probably the most time-consuming part for me because I am not all that great at tying bows. My fingers are just too big and don't want to ever do what I want them to do. And so I recommend when you tie a bow is to leave it attached. I find that way it's easier. And then you can snip off your end. And also it saves on wasting ribbon or twine. So I tied my bow. Now we can fold over our card. I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder again. Oops. And then we can put our pieces together. So they use glue dots. I'm going to go ahead and use my Stampin' Seal. Glue dots are totally fine to use. I just don't want to mess with them. I'm trying to do this quickly for you guys. I'm going to stick that down. They have theirs going all the way to the edge. I wanted a little bit of my edge sticking out. So, like I said, it's however you want the card to look. And then I'm going to put my thank you about there. Let's use some dimensionals, or my thank you, my corrugated piece there, and then we'll put the thank you on dimensionals. And then add a couple of these enamel dots. And like I said, you could do this card. The beauty of these kits is you can do them however you want. The recipient of them doesn't really, most people don't know what they're supposed to look like. So card 2 is complete. And now let's move on to their card 2. I started with card 3. So this one is a happy birthday card. I think I'm going to keep it that way. And it uses, got all of our pieces here. It uses this card base. So we need one of those. And the die cut roses and leaves. And one of these panels. And a label. Oh, and this corrugated panel. So this one is a little more detailed, I would say. I wouldn't say it's any more difficult. To me, it's the same level of difficulty. We're just going to get our happy birthday stamp out. And we don't need the rose stamp for this card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment. Okay, I'm going to put that over to the side. Still need the ink, silly. And then per the instructions, this one does have a bit of ribbon too. I usually like to do my ribbons at the end, but I'll go ahead and follow the instructions. It says 12, and I don't measure my ribbons out, but it takes this piece here, and then it wants us to stamp the leaves. Is that what? If you ever get confused, you can always just look. Yep, there's stamped leaves on there. Okay. So we're going to put this. Nope, we're not using these. I lied. We're not using these ones, guys. Those are for the box that these cards come in. So this one just wants us to stamp the leaf, one leaf, it looks like, onto our panel here. And like I said, there is no right or wrong way to do this. Just however you want it to look. I'm just trying to show how easy it is to make these cards. So then they took some of the ribbon and wrapped it around and tied a bow. My first bow went okay. Let's see how I do on my second one. Hey, look at that, 2 in a row. I am on fire today. All right, I just cut my ribbon and then put our sentiment down. A little bit of the dimensionals, 2 of them. And sentiment goes here, and then this layers onto here, but there's a certain way that it goes. It goes like that because they want the corrugated part to come out. So I'm going to use seal on this. You can use your glue dots. I prefer the seal. I'm going to just set that down on a flat surface. And I line up the edges just to make sure it's straight. That's a little wonky, crooked, but looks good to me. I'll take it. And then I think I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this because I just like how that looks. I like that little pop of little lift it gives. You always want to, big ones like this, you always want to put one in the center just because it doesn't, so it doesn't sag or dip in, especially if you're mailing it. Then I'll get my card base. And pop that on. And then a few of the dots. We'll do, I like to go in odd numbers. There are no rules though. If you want to do 1 or 2, that's fine. I like doing odd numbers, so I'm going to put 3 of these. And that card is complete. So now all that's left to show you is the box. So this kit comes with the clear acetate box. It comes flat like this. All you're going to do is pop it up and kind of push in on the sides. There's score lines on there and you just kind of want to push in on those. And the point of this box is if you wanted to send these cards as maybe a gift. So you could put all 3 cards in there, maybe the envelopes. I have cat hair on it because of course. You just gotta finagle it and work with it. I've never actually broken one of these boxes, so it's easier to work with if you just reinforce those score lines and push down on everything. So there's the box. And then it comes with this long band, and this is what we call a belly band. There is adhesive on this already. So, and there are score lines on it. So I'm just going to fold over those score lines just to reinforce them. You could also use a bone folder for this. And then I'm going to put the box in the middle. And see, it fits on there perfectly. So I'm going to take off this backing to the adhesive. And just fold that over. So that will be the back of your box. This will be the front. And then all we do now is take our die cuts that we have here and add them to the box. So for the leaves, I'm just going to use a little bit of seal. You could use a glue dot for this. And that's about where I want my flower to go. So I'm going to put that there. And I'm going to put this one here-ish. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of the rose. I think 3 should do it. And then I'll fix that box. I saw it popped out. And then the instructions have a For You tag, which is one of the tags that come in the kit, and then some ribbon. I don't want to do that yet because I'm not quite sure how I want to use this box. I'm reinforcing that score line. I forgot to. That's why it popped open. There. Now it works. So you could take one of the labels here. They use this tag here that comes with it and put For You, stamp For You, put a little ribbon. I'm not going to do that. I actually like how it looks like this. And this band does come off. So if you wanted to switch it out and make something of your own, that comes right off and slides right back on. And that is this kit, the Sentimental Rose Kit. So we have 3 cards done and a box, all in less than 30 minutes. I think that's pretty cool. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I will see you next time.